At the weekend, I was outside the Saudi Arabian embassy for the Al-Quds rally, an annual protest for Palestine. And this year, we began outside the Saudi Arabian embassy because of what Saudi Arabia is doing in Yemen and because of what Saudi Arabia is doing in the region. And Saudi Arabia is an ally of Israel. Another important ally of Israel in the UK is Tommy Robinson, who's now in jail. And the far right and the English Defence League and the football hooligan types who showed up on Sunday to show their support for Israel. Now, if you are counter-protesting to a protest outside the Saudi Arabian embassy, why don't you bring the Saudi Arabian flag? These right-wing nutters had shown up with their Israeli flags and showing their support for Israel. I don't know if many of them even know where Israel is, but I think they've adopted this cause of Zionism, another word they probably don't know, because they think their enemy's enemy is their friend, and they think that the Palestine cause is some kind of Muslim issue that Muslims care about. Therefore, to annoy the Muslims, they will stand with Israel. But on the Palestinian side, on Sunday, we had Jews, Christians, Muslims, people of no religion, people of any different religion you could think of. It's not a Muslim issue. But interestingly, given that the Al-Quds Day was first created by Ayatollah Khomeini in the 70s, it was interesting to see that the Muslims that had gathered to organise it and those that were there first on the scene seemed to be, if not a majority, a large number of Shia Muslim, more than you would expect, given that Shia Muslims are perhaps 10% of the worldwide Muslim population, and I would think a smaller percentage of the UK Muslim population. But as the day got started and they held their prayer, they were praying in the Shia way with arms by their side, which I know some Sunnis do practice as well. I believe it's called sadl, when you pray with your arms by your side. And also, I'd never seen this before, but I know that Shias place a stone on the ground so that they can place their head on the stone as they pray. They were using bits of paper or anything that they could find as an alternative for that stone. So it was clearly a Shia Muslim prayer that was being carried out to start the day. And the Zionists congregated this allegiance, or this alliance rather, of far-right nutcases and right-wing Jewish extremists, Jewish nationalists. I mean, that is what Zionism is. It's a form of Jewish nationalism. And this idea of the far-right cooperating with the Zionist movement is not a new thing. And Ken Livingstone got in a lot of trouble recently for saying the truth when he mentioned that Zionism and Nazism had collaborated. In the 1930s, there was something called the Havara Agreement, and the Nazis actually minted a coin to commemorate this agreement because the Nazis and the Zionists had a common goal. The Nazis wanted all the Jews out of Europe, and the Zionists wanted all the Jews out of Europe and into Palestine, so they worked together for a common goal. Zionists are always very quick to tell you that the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem spent the war years in Hitler's bunker, and yes, there was a Muslim wing of the SS in Bosnia. We can't hide from this fact. He was with Hitler during the war, because yet again, the naivety of believing that my enemy's enemy is my friend. And in Ireland, during the Troubles, when nationalists began flying the Palestinian flag in their areas alongside the tricolour, and at a time when Irish Republican militants were working with and cooperating with Palestinian militants, and there was graffiti on the walls saying IRA, PLO, one struggle. As that was happening on the Republican side, Loyalists began flying the Israeli flag, and you couldn't make it up. But maybe it runs deeper than that. And within Loyalism, there was a strain that believed in British Israelism, which was almost a political belief, but almost a religious belief, that the British people, and in particular the Ulster Protestants, were somehow the lost tribe of Israel. And you couldn't make it up, but someone did, and people believed it. And funny enough, on the centre of the Ulster banner, which was the so-called flag of so-called Northern Ireland, there is a six-pointed star, just like the Star of David on the Israeli flag. However, the reasoning behind it apparently is the 6 counties of Ulster that remained part of the UK after partition. That's what it represents, rather than being the Star of David. But who knows? If you go deep enough, history is always coming up with amazing, strange coincidences and things that cultures have in common.